My name is Bridget Hogan. I'm the Small Ruminants Manager here at White Oak Pastures. I've been here since 2019 and been managing this department since 2020. Our goat program here at White Oak, it kind of serves two functions. Obviously, we do take some of our goats for processing at our processing plant. But one of their biggest roles on the farm is grazing down overgrown areas. They're really great at controlling some of the more invasive species that pop up on the farm, like privet, kudzu, China berry trees. So we use them a lot to help clear areas or clean fence lines for the cattle department. The way that they graze is so interesting. They'll stand on their hind legs and reach up as high as they can. So the impact they make on the land is significant. Once they go through an area and graze all of that down, a lot more sunlight can now get to the ground, and you have new different species that are able to germinate and grow. And that in turn helps the other livestock species, the sheep, the pigs, the cows, have access to more and better grazing. The goats are really fun. They have super friendly personalities. Some of them even like to be petted and loved on. We'll put them in an area, let them clear it, and then we'll load them on a trailer and bring them to another area of the farm where they can get to work eating all the stuff that the sheep and the cows don't necessarily love to eat. She's enjoying these scratches. Goats are really dependent on having the right mineral balance in their diet. Things like copper, salt, selenium, and iodine are very important to the goats. They're pretty easy and they're really fun to work with. And they're funny. Goats are a great animal for really any size operation. They like to have friends, so I would definitely have at least 2, but 3 to 5 would be better. They like having their buddies around them. The most important thing with raising goats, you need to have really good fencing in place. So this paddock that these bucks are in right now is field fenced all the way around. With the high tensile fence, which is just the electrified wires, they can actually just scoot under it without getting shocked because their horns don't conduct electricity. Some of the smaller goats will sometimes try to come through the rungs of the gates as well, but not these boys. They're good. Our goats here on the farm kid out in the spring, so April and May is when all of our baby goats are born. They do really well in the heat. Not necessarily the humidity that we get down here, but even then, in the middle of the day, sometimes they'll just be laying out in the sun, sunbathing. The heat doesn't bother them so much as it does with the sheep. To me, the goats are so fun because you can really see, especially in an overgrown area, the work that they're able to do. And then working with the cattle department, being able to help them keep their fences hot for the cows. It's really fun and rewarding to work with them. Anybody who raises goats, there's a saying that they're really good at dying and killing themselves. They get themselves in so much trouble, but you just have to kind of stay a step ahead of them. They'll get their horns caught. They love to stick their head through the fence, and then their horns will be caught and they can't get their head unstuck. Every time I drive by, I'm checking the fence to make sure nobody's put their head through it and gotten stuck. They're a small enough size that they're manageable for a person on their own or for a couple people. A lot more manageable size than a cow. As long as you have the right fencing set up, I would definitely recommend getting goats. Especially if you have an area of your property that is really too thick for you to get into. Maybe an area by your pond that's overgrown and you don't want to get in there and clear it because there might be snakes in there. Throw a fence around it, put some goats in there, and you'll be able to see clear through it in a few days. There's not a whole lot more to it than that. Just making sure they've got good, clean pasture, lots of trees. They love a spot where maybe there's a fallen down tree that they can climb on and play. They really like just having a good time. They also do really well just as backyard animals on just hay in a little sweet feed. They can do really well in that situation too, as long as they're getting attention and being stimulated in some way, something to climb on and play on and jump around on. They love climbing on anything, anything. They're super curious, fearless, and there's nothing cuter than a baby goat.